hello, everyone. Welcome to the road trip. Yeah, we were gonna be on. We usually are on Saturdays, but I was actually on my own road trip, so couldn't do it. So I pushed it out to today because I still wanted to chat. And there's enough to chat about. Arsenal's, as you know, always has stuff to talk about in the off season, and busy day today. And I'll get into that and then some. But some people, the crew will be joining. Gonna might be a little bit late. It is an off day and off time, so we'll see how that plays out. So first things first, I guess I'll say my piece, and then when the guys join, they'll have their say. But yeah, it's sad news. Condolences sent out to the Jota family. There's been crazy last couple of weeks for them for sure, for the football world in the last week or so, or last couple of days. But yeah, sad news out of Europe on the way home. Gets into a car crash, and him and his brother perish, and no more, and not here anymore. So crazy time for his family, both not only for his recently married wife and kids, but also him and his brother's parents as well, to lose both their sons. So yeah, at the show, I always talk about there's more to life than just this football, and this just shows you there is. So I'd like to get that out there. It's yeah, Jota was one of those players that you love to hate. You loved him if he was your guy. You hated him if he wasn't. And he loved Arsenal. As many times he's come on the pitch, and as many times he's come on the pitch and scored late against us. It's yeah, that's all I gotta say to his scoring against us. But in general, really good player. I don't really have any bad words to say about him. But yeah, just as a competitor, yeah, it was always a terror when he joined. But before we continue on, I got somebody in the background who I don't know. He's got on a yellow shirt, so I guess you can tell who that is. But welcome to the stage. We've got Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom, how you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, he's got the traditional shake now. This is the new entrance when he joins. He'll be shaking, giving us the handshake, saying that he's here. Is this what you got on there? What's that top you got on? Oh, wait, he's practicing. See, this is part of his regimen. It seems to be working, even though it's a terrible regimen. I don't think his doctors would have prescribed that. So what is that top you got on there?
It's a Leeds United away shirt from last season,
Oh,
which I
okay.
haven't worn before. But the new Leeds shirt is out, which I'm not getting, obviously, because I'm not paying pre-Christmas prices.
Ah, okay. All right. When you were chatting about it, I thought that meant you had it already.
Oh no, absolutely not. That's outrageous. Outrageous accusation, Gary, but I can
Okay.
understand why you would have come to that. But
Yeah. No, yeah. I tell you all the time, I, I, I guess I want the team to look good when we're out there, but I really don't care as long as at the end of the day, as you say, you look at the score on the scoreboard and it says your team won. So that's kind of how I look at it. They can wear whatever they want as long as they keep winning. So,
shirts
and
tend to be graded based on what happened when you wear them,
for sure,
ultimately.
for sure. And Arsenal's won a lot in the red, so it's almost like why do they change colors at all? The odds are they're going to win more with red. So,
Hmm. Talking about Arsenal,
oh, go ahead.
I have nothing to say. I have nothing to
Oh,
say about Arsenal.
yeah. No, when I was talking about Jota, I don't know if you. I assume you talked. I don't know if you've talked about Jota since the news has come out. But like I said, I was just
Shame.
saying, yeah. It's a sad day in football. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, this is they always say. I always say, life. That's why I say don't waste the trip. Short life is short. You never know. So, and that's one guy that I would say he didn't waste a trip when he went out there to play. He definitely did not waste the trip. He always did his job at the giving us pain. So, oh, look at this. We got. I guess if you have nothing to say, we do have Ryan. Is it? Oh, you know what? I'm clicking the wrong thing. I'm on the wrong screen here. That's no wonder I can't see the comments. I'm looking at the YouTube channel. I haven't done this in a while, as you can tell. I'm trying to turn on the to show the message, but I'm in YouTube.
I haven't done it since Monday.
Yeah, you're right. It seems
6 days, Gary, and you've already forgot how to use StreamYard.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Well, one, I forgot how to use it because I wasn't in it. You know, it's one thing if I was in it and I was pressing the wrong buttons, but I wasn't even in it. You know, but Ryan says, "Here we go." So I don't know. Do we let? I see some.
That's a Romano saying, isn't it? Referring to the loads of signings your club have made.
It is. There is a.
Timing of it is massively dodgy. That's all.
Yeah. Well, there is a potential. Here we go. Coming. I'm gonna let. I think the guy in the background. Are you coming in, or should I wait for you to show your face or not? You let me know. Got Rosie in the house. Welcome to the show, Rosie. She's sending out the links. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure you subscribe and like. I'll see. Sam, are you there?
Yep.
I am.
Okay. I didn't
Hello,
see
everybody.
I didn't see your face. I mean,
I'm just finishing up a late lunch, so I didn't want to fucking be eating on camera.
I was gonna say we're all better for it, but then I guess that I'll keep
Gary,
that joke to
you
myself.
Saucy little bastard! You saucy little bastard! You started off with a bit of an insult. How dare you?
No, I was gonna say I told you guys already, man. I saw you had an emergency meeting. We
had an emergency slag meeting last night. It went on for 3 hours and 10 minutes. It was we covered a lot of ground. It was very good. Tom was on that as well. Yeah, it was very good. We had good long chat. Went through loads of things. It was very therapeutic.
Yeah, my lawyers are happy you only mentioned my name once.
You were mentioned maybe once or twice. Yeah.
I didn't catch the second one, but I caught the first one.
Right.
So maybe I should have checked for the second one because now
maybe don't check it.
Oh man, you got Anthony Herbert. He joined you guys last night.
Yeah, he was on last night. Big up Weers. He was on with us last night. He joined, which was good stuff. Yeah, we had a good chat.
Cool. All right. Yeah, we were just talking about Jota and just saying, sad times in football.
Tragic.
Yeah. And going to move on to the next thing. I don't know. Do we want to talk about the elephant in the room, or do we want to just skip over that?
Well, it's up to you, Gary. It's your show, but we talked about it a lot last night anyway. But I mean, it's up to you. It's your show.
I guess I'm just going to say my piece, I guess, and then I'll move on. So Partey is no longer with Arsenal, and coincidentally, as soon as he's no longer with Arsenal, charges seem to be delivered. Right, the look just doesn't seem right. Whether it's just the way the process works and whatnot, but the look of it. I know you guys talked about that somewhat. It just doesn't. It seems kind of weird that the timing of that seemed to coincide with him not being an Arsenal player anymore. As I said when all this came out, I'll cheer for him, but if that stuff is true, I'll be really disappointed, in him for sure. I think the victims usually pay for this thing, and that's why the man usually in these type of situations is the last one to get any kind of recognition, because usually the man's the one that gets away with it in a lot of cases. So we'll see how this plays out. But
I mean, basically the thing that I said last night was the main thing for me is two issues really. One, that the Crown Prosecution Service decided to file charges so late after such a long investigation. And that's, like you say, the timing comes after just days after his contract ends at Arsenal. It just looks so weird. The timing of it just, raises a lot of questions, which it shouldn't do, which is, stupid that it's done like that. And the second thing that I went on was about is how so many rival fans and also Arsenal fans are using it as another opportunity to dig at Arteta, like Arteta had anything to do with it, which is another dig at him, which is which to me is just crazy.
Yeah, my take has always been this is not an Arteta issue, this is an Arsenal issue. Regardless, like whoever, even if it's Arteta leading the charge, it's still an Arsenal issue. It doesn't really matter. Arsenal usually does, I think, what's good for Arsenal in a lot of cases as far as marketing and perception is concerned. If they thought that there was perception issues, they probably would. I believe they would have done something because they seem to do that.
All of that would have been anything to do with that would have been handled well above Arteta's pay grade anyway. Mm-hmm. That would have been for the executive, board of the club to handle all of that. What would need to be done with parties? So to blame Arteta like he's protecting him or something is just ridiculous.
I heard that. So we will see how that plays out. It's never a good thing.
I think the timing of everything is really tasteless.
Yeah.
I think the fact that I woke up on Sunday morning to discover you've bought 2 players, and are looking at another one. And I know it's played like these are transfers you've had in the pipeline for a while, but I can't help but feel a lot of it is very like PR machine. Like, how do we get away from the questions relating to the party thing? But why don't we just announce new players?
Yeah, the Zubamendi one, we know why that was postponed. The news about, and we'll get into that as well, about Gyökeres, could be definitely timing. And that's why I said Arsenal as a whole, their marketing is really good in the sense that they do things to boost their name and not sully it, right? So no. So that's kind of how I feel about that one. But I just wanted to chat about it, and I always say that in these type of situations, I'm always on the women's side, regardless of whether they're telling the truth or lying. Because I think if they're lying, which is what people will say, is that they might need a little bit of help. If they get to that point, because it not only hurts them, but it also hurts those in the future who are telling the truth and don't get the same kind of credibility. So it's a double-edged sword when that happens. So I always feel like I'm always looking out to try to help people. I believe that's what I try to do on a regular basis. So and like I said, if the male gets caught in the crosshairs, which happens, I think in a lot of cases they don't. So it's in most cases they don't. They either get away with it or they get punished. All right. So they're not looked at any differently. Sorry, Tony. Sorry, Mr. Tom. Go ahead.
All I'll say is I don't think it's unfair to say that this is not a good look for Arsenal currently.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And I've got no dog in the fight. It's not like I'm like, how do I get Arsenal this week?
Yeah.
I couldn't give a flying shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are, what I understand is obviously 6 charges between 3 women, which is enough for you to sit there and think, what the fuck has been going on at this football club? But at the same time, I just don't think. I think
there's a lot. There's a lot. The charges they're very serious, and as Rosie's brought up, there are 6 different counts with 3 different women involved. So they're very serious charges. But now that's up. Now that's going to go to the court. Now the court has to decide what's going to happen, and and it's just the timing of it all, right? This just happened now, literally just like days after he ended his contract, which is for me is just like why have they waited that long?
Yep.
The Crown Prosecution Service, why did they wait so long? And like I said on last night's emergency stream, you would think that the Crown Prosecution Service are aware of things like his contract at Arsenal. So it'd be like, okay, they waited until his contract finished and then announced it. So it's very convenient as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
just
the whole timing of it all, it's just so bad,
Yeah. And as Mr. Tom said, Arsenal is out looking like they're trying to clean the message that's out there. But then also, the Crown Royal, whatever group you said,
it's called the Crown Prosecution
Services.
That's a group they're a group of lawyers, like they're the police lawyers who will decide on whether there can be charges filed or not. And it's they take a little bit of time because they have to go through all the evidence and everything, and they have to decide whether there's charges to be filed or not. Because when they file charges, that means it's going to go to court. So to go that far to actually file charges, they have to feel like it's worth going to court, right? That there's enough evidence to go to court. Because if there's not enough evidence, then normally the Crown Prosecution Service will just drop the case and say, it's been dismissed.
Yeah. No, my reason why I bring it up is because Arsenal at some point has to get the message away from themselves at some point, especially if they feel they've done the right thing. A lot of people feel they haven't done the right thing. I mean, I when this all came out, I was like, if they've done their due diligence and they feel he's all right, then I'll trust them with that. I said that the first time when that happened. If they have any questions about it, then they set him on the side for a little bit and let him figure out his situation, right? That's what teams will do, especially when a player's head gets turned, they sit him on the sidelines. Nobody says a damn thing. All right. This is a person's livelihood and life that might be, in peril. If they feel it's going to be too much of a distraction, then they could sit them on the side, not as a punishment, but to let them handle their business before they decide whether or not to bring them back. So that's kind of how I feel about that one. So yes, Arsenal is pushing out the message now. Some of it was not. They had pushed things out, but others probably is to, as you say, quiet the noise, because the last thing you want is your name and all this stuff sullied with it. I mean, you put Arsenal on anything, it gets traction, all right? And then if you do this, it's just ugh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a complete mess, isn't it? Really, and it's a shame with the timing of it all. But all our rival fans and everything, like I said last night, all our rival fans, they're all going to, they're going to use this to dig at Arsenal's point score, try and get as much out of it as much as they can. But they're all hypocrites, like Tom said last night as well. Every club's got skeletons in their closet. Yep. Several of our rival clubs have had players with, who've been investigated for similar crimes. Look at Manchester United with Greenwood. Look at Spurs with Basuma. Spurs bought Basuma and he was still under investigation. They played him while he was still under investigation.
Yeah. And the same thing happened there. A lot of people said, what would they do that if they hadn't done their due diligence and assumed everything was going to be okay? And a lot of people,
I imagine Spurs' investigation went like this. Basuma, did you do it? No, sir.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everybody's due diligence isn't at the same level, right? Some people might ask another question, Some people might not even ask the question at all.
And you've got West Ham who had Zuma, who's fucking kicking cats on camera.
Yeah.
Disgusting fucking animal abuser.
Yeah.
And they just slid that under the carpet and kept playing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, that's why I thought Arsenal would have at least done something and decided, what, it's all right.
In a slightly more tasteless move away from this.
Yep.
Can we just acknowledge the greatest animal abuser ever? Because he slayed so much pussy, it was unreal.
That allegedly. Is just not. Allegedly. I take that off my screen. Take that off my screen.
Man of all time.
I don't even know. Nobody even knows who that guy is. He used to.
Lie. That's a lie. Everyone
nobody knows who it is. Nobody knows who it is. But let me go through this chat because I'm behind, and you guys always got Russ in the house. Welcome to the show. Russ is in the house. Anthony Herbert's talking about put a video in the chat. Is on his way to Arsenal. He just needs to sign a contract. I don't know what. Is that actually?
This is that scrumpy Yoda talk. He talks in this. He doesn't speak English half the time. This weird. You have to interpret this.
Okay.
I think he's saying something about
group chat.
There was a video in chat about Gyökeres on his way to Arsenal. He's just I don't know what's going on.
Sign the contract. Got to sign the contract.
But I just want to I just have to we have Gary remove the comment because you know, a bingo card has already been a bingo card's already been activated. Fucking Tom.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, baby.
You had to fucking bring in fucking pussy pounder, fucking Furpo.
Oh man. This is all right. It might be a busy day today. We'll see, because I know there's going to be more coming. For those who are into the Mr. Arsenal podcast, check it out. You got the Cannon and Josie will be on tonight. All right, busy day today. So check them out. I know this is an off day for them, so check them out. And yeah, I don't think I've said it, but condolences to Liam. Huh?
The Legionite home kit's going to get the highest grade out of all the kits on the annual kit show. Just going to tell you that right now. And not biastry in play. Massive levels of biastry in play. Yeah. But still. Sorry, who was doing condolences for, Gary?
That was just to Liam. Yeah. So we've got Dan in the house. I don't understand fire stick.
Oh,
what does that mean?
That's from last night when we was talking about TV stuff and we was talking about fire sticks and stuff. And
okay, you know what? I think I don't want to hear any more.
Yeah, you don't need to hear any more of that. You can you can go back and check the stream if you want to hear.
Yeah, the elephant in the room, and you thought it was we ears. No. What do you say we got here? Yeah, this
we
is.
We don't know what that player has been telling the club this whole time, or the police while investigating. Wish they'd charged a lot sooner, so we could legally do the right thing and suspend that cunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, if you know, and once again, that's if we believe that is true, right? So we shall see. Got a happy Sunday.
Big up, Dan the Gooner.
There you go. Check out Dan's show Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So he'll be on tonight. That's I think that's 7:30 over here.
Is there?
Oh, sorry, that's 5:30 over here in the UK.
Is there going to be a movie quiz?
Oh, I don't know. We got to let him see. See, okay. So what's the difference between the uppercase fire stick and the lowercase fire stick? Is that like? Am I missing? What am I missing?
It depends how excited he is when he says it.
All right.
He's just excited. He's like fire stick.
All right.
Fire stick.
All right. Oh wait, it's been postponed for a few more nights. Okay, so sorry. All right, false alarm. Got Big Gunner. I don't know if he's in the house, but he's got a link here. All right. And just to continue, I don't know if this is in the bingo card, but this seems to be a steady dose of Ron Simmons talk in the chat about Ron Simmons, who plays college football, and we're talking about English football over here, or some people would say proper football. So, and did I say hi to Russ? I think I did, right? Yeah.
Russ.
No, I said. Yeah, I said hi to Russ. I did.
He's a slag. I wonder how his dogging sessions are going.
Yeah, Russ is the type of guy that cuts his grass with scissors and a ruler. Definitely. You forgot the ruler because he's got to be the right height. And look who we got in the house talking about.
Was another slag.
Chris Nix is in here. Says, "Hey, my lovelies, welcome
to
the
show." All the slags are in tonight. Afternoon.
All right. So now that we moved off the some of the older talk, we'll talk about the newer stuff. So, Mr. Tom, who have Leeds brought in today? There you go, folks. That's it. You heard it here. Mr. Tom just told you who has joined our Leeds today.
What, since yesterday?
No, today. Not since yesterday.
I don't think anyone's been brought in today.
Exactly. That's why that was the shortest segment of all time. Anybody else come in since the big guy?
Pure fucking racism going on right there.
I think we activated a bingo card there. We activated a bingo card. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
there we go.
Man, I didn't actually know that was a bingo card, but that one.
There we go.
That one, yes.
Tom customarily has to accuse Gary of being a racist. Yes, there we go.
Yes.
If you don't want to see that bingo card, stop being racist.
There you go. And Rosie brings out the 10-centimeter ruler. I don't even know what that means. Anybody know what that means?
I think she's referring to something there we don't need to talk about.
Is it
See,
Russ
now,
cutting his
see,
grass
and I'll
with
get in
scissors?
trouble for this, right? But I didn't write it.
Yeah, I know you're just the guy who does
I'm
your
just
job.
the
You're just doing the
messenger,
reading.
man. You don't kill the
You're just the
messenger.
messenger. You know, you can't shoot the messenger.
All right. So, Mr. Tom, anybody that we want to talk about on the lead side?
I'm starting to feel like I don't even recognise my own team at the moment because
Why? Who's left?
so many giant defenders, and I'm just like,
Wait, you got more than one guy coming in?
Leeds have signed a couple of really big defenders who no one's ever heard of.
That's true. That's true. And people go, "Oh, watch him on Twitter." It's like that's the first sign for me that I know they might be shit. If you have to watch a YouTube compilation to know who you're buying, in my opinion.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Tom. I'm sorry, but I'm laughing. I'm laughing. And then the response. Sorry,
That's not PG at all.
That is definitely not a Sunday morning show.
This is a church day as well. This is a church day as well. How dare they on a church day?
So how many defenders you brought in, Mr. Tom?
I believe we've brought in 2. We're looking to get a left back as well.
Okay.
Due to the fact that our current left back had fallen out of contract and decided to leave the club.
So that's not official yet, right? But is he? So is he a free agent? Is that kind of what it is now? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Firpo has left the club. Like he's actually got his goodbye message from the Leeds United social media and all that. I got upset, of course.
Silly question because I don't know why, but why in YouTube now do they have those little like crowns with a number next to it? Does anybody know what that means?
What?
Like when I look in YouTube, like in the chat, like right after the name, it has like in a little circle, like it has a crown with a like number 3 or number 2. I don't know what that means.
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I noticed this on Ryan's show yesterday. It's a way of like trying to encourage engagement on live shows. I believe.
Okay.
Like and you're the number 1 poster, kind of thing.
So Russ is the number 1 poster and Rosie's number 3, huh?
Oh.
Who does the rating?
YouTube, I assume.
I believe it's an algorithm.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what I seen that on other shows, and I was trying to figure out what that meant. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't noticed it.
Yeah. All right. So what is this? We've got a new member to the show, Vinod. Welcome to the show.
Vino Dini Francis sounds like a very fancy football player.
Yeah, there you go. Got a little mix in there.
The Indian Ronaldinho.
He's the Indian Houdini.
There you go. Welcome to the show. So they're rating chat members. All right.
Yep.
So if you don't,
I'm clicking that right now, Chris.
All right.
You are in the champion. You've actually moved into 3rd place for some reason.
Oh, is that right? Russ is sitting at number 1. Interesting.
Where do you see this then?
Must be his dogging talk.
Like when I look at it, I don't know. Maybe you don't see it, but in YouTube, like I don't know, in the browser, it looks that way. I don't know about on the phone.
No, on my phone, I can see it too.
You can see it on your phone. All right. Miss Melina has joined the show. She says hello to Gary.
We got Melina.
And Sammy G with a capital G. So I don't know what that shows a little bit too love to the Sammy crew. I don't get it.
Melina.
Yeah.
Love to Melina.
Yes. So I have no reason to say that I've been to the Dominican Republic anymore. So there you go. That is off.
I mean, him leaving the club doesn't mean you suddenly never went to the Dominican Republic, to be fair. So, I mean, you can bring it up, but we'll have to invent a reason for you to bring it up.
There you go. And Mr. Tom will find a way. Mr. Tom will find a way. If you click on it, there's a rating system. I'm 4th place. At least I get a Champions League. Oh, is that what it is?
Ooh,
I see now. Russ is up.
Champions League for Chris is slag. He's not going to get Champions League.
Oh. All right. I didn't realize. Okay. I didn't realize the top fans, as they call it.
Top
Well,
fans, eh? Ooh.
Yeah, top fans. That's what the yeah.
That means Rosie must be number one then, because Rosie must be a top fan.
Well, it says Rosie is number 3.
Who's number
Rosie,
one?
Russ is
no,
number
no,
1.
no, no.
Ross is number one. That must be all that.
Rosie's been knocked down to number 5.
Oh,
But
she's
everyone's on 75 XP.
Rosie's terrible. That's terrible. Terrible. Is Russ number one
fair,
then?
though,
Oh, listen to this, folks. If you're into pools and Dan, and I don't mean pool tables, I mean pools. He
Oh,
said
that's right. He's away this weekend, isn't he? He's away doing a holiday vacation rental thingy.
All right, so he's going to be by the pool doing the show. So the
Yes.
Wi-Fi is great. So there you go. So for those who are into seeing Dan at the pool, check it out. Oh, he's not at Anfield, Rosie. That's a different kind of pool. Yes.
Well, if Russ is first, it must be all that dogging talk.
I guess. I didn't even realize they were talking that much. All right, so today, anyways, Mr. Tom, anything else? I think you mentioned everybody else, so we can get on to the proper talk. Good. All right. Arsenal has finally announced Zubimendi has joined the team.
Yes.
Some people will say it's
How
been
long are we waiting for that one? How long have we been waiting?
Everybody
for that?
said he was joining in January, which he wasn't. Everybody said he was joining in the summer, which he wasn't. But he is officially now an Arsenal player today. The video's gone out. I assume the paperwork was signed a while back anyways. But he'll be there for the start of preseason, which is, I think, in a couple of days, if not right now. So Zubimendi has joined. Where's the Tom? What is that?
Did you just say he was joining in the summer, but he wasn't?
Last summer.
Oh, last summer.
Yeah, last summer. I was going back in time, so it was January and then the previous summer. So sorry. Yes, you listened to every word I said, which is you need to stop that. You know what I mean?
Number 30. He's got the number 36 as well, Zubimendi.
Nice.
That's his number from Sociedad.
Okay. Very cool. So he will be in. I guess he's in Arsenal now. At Arsenal now, so we shall see him soon.
Like Man of Solomon.
Yeah. I don't know what this means.
Do you know what a title is, Chris?
Oh, I thought it meant something else because there was 2 T's there, so I thought that meant something different.
Do you know what a title is, Chris? I'm just reading it as it's written.
He's going for that tittle push. He's going for the tittle push, which is much better than the title push.
Oh man! And Dan is a little bit too much information. Hopefully, you're not modeling it. I'll say this.
Speedo much.
Yeah. Tom's face. Yes, he had that face.
Chris is up to 3rd place in the rankings.
Yeah. So yes, Zubimendi is in the house, and no sooner does Zubimendi get mentioned, an hour or so later, Gyökeres talk is starting to ramp up, which is good because that means hopefully we are close to getting a striker. Arsenal fans.
So I got some Scandinavian links on my Twitter and everything from Scandinavian news. And that's including the Swedish paper. So there's a couple of Swedish papers now just literally reporting within the last hour that they're saying that the deal now is virtually done with Sporting Lisbon for Gyökeres.
Nice.
So you've been ripped off for this one.
That's gonna be if we get him, that's gonna be huge. And I said we're getting Gyökeres. I said out of the 2, Sesko and Gyökeres, I said we're getting Gyökeres.
So Sesko's off the table.
Looks like it at the moment. Yeah, looks like it.
Interesting. Imagine if now I'm not saying footballers should be treated like slaves, but I do think Sesko being owned by a Red Bull club should just be moved across to another club in the Red Bull.
Like on a loan, like on a little loan out at Leeds, like a loan.
In a like we basically don't pay as much as we usually should.
I mean, okay, so what part of that is the illegal part? Because I know you're not talking about it, but can a sister club bring on, or a brother club bring on another player for a really good deal?
Well, I've basically seen loads of Premier League clubs doing all kinds of shit that's not illegal, but really should be.
That's what they want now, don't they?
Like for example, I don't think I'm really unfair in even bringing this up, but Aston Villa selling what women's team is worth £50 million?
It's just a joke. All that is just a complete and utter joke now. All that
That's not
PSR stuff.
No, you know what? It's
FFP.
insulting. I think it's worth more than 50, but I don't know. But 50 sounds light when Chelsea, who's won like the last 7 women's league, is 200.
Yeah, 200 million.
Right.
I mean, that's
right.
I mean, it's just a joke, isn't it?
Just ask why they came to that figure. Is that, in my opinion, that's the number of money that they probably think they're going to foul FFP by, and it will keep their heads above water for now.
Did you see the fines they got from that? There was some PSR.
It's like anywhere between 30 and
fines.
80 mil, right?
It was
Between
like,
30
I think the largest fine was something like 30 million or something like that. It's just a joke. It's just, why bother? What's the point if that's the punishment?
Like, in it, like 12 million, but like if they foul it again, it's going to increase it, something like that. And it's like, but Dan's point up, to me, it creates a question like, how much is the actual Arsenal team worth if you need to sell it?
Well, no, think about it. There's only how many teams in English football with 2 Champions League? Women's side? Anybody? Anybody?
I mean,
that should be worth a lot, right? Because Champion Leagues count more than anything in the world, right?
I was saying, I agree with Dan. Really, our team is a lovely team and it should be priceless. But I think actually, if you're comparing, like, if Chelsea's team was worth 200 million or whatever it is they sold them for, was it 200 million they sold them back to the club for?
Yep.
Or they sold, yeah. So if they're 200 million, we're better than Chelsea. So got to be more than 200 million, hasn't it?
Yep.
I think eventually the reason no one's actually turning around again, this is wrong, Chelsea and Aston Villa in their evilness need to be stopped, is because all the other 18 teams are sitting there going, what if we need to do that?
Well, it sets a precedent, doesn't it? All of a sudden everyone could just start selling their women's teams to themselves, and it's just ridiculous the way they're all allowed to do all of that.
Well, that's why it shouldn't have been allowed. It shouldn't have been allowed. It shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. It's my thought.
It should not be allowed.
Like there has to be some certain rule. Like there should have been certain rules that, yes, you can do this deal, but you're not going to get whatever benefit they currently get, and that's the problem. I think it's the benefit. It isn't really the transaction; is what the benefit is, right? Like they probably could. People move money around all the damn time, right? But if the benefit is they can circumvent the PSR and all these monetary rules, then nah, you can't do that. And that's where the league doesn't stand firm on this thing, right? When they say how to got Brenny in the house. Welcome to the show.
Big up, Brenny.
We cannot stop with just Zubimendi. Good caress. There you go. Yeah. You said what?
We're going to sell the Leeds United women's team for £28.50.
See, now you're just like, I know you're just being mean.
But they're not worth more. They're worth about 30 quid.
What?
That's what they're worth.
You guys.
Is it your team that lost? Was it your team? Was it your women's team that lost 10-0 or something in a game not long ago?
No, we lost 9-0 to Arsenal's women's.
9-0 to Arsenal. That was it. Yeah.
And to be honest, your club should have been embarrassed that day, because obviously the standard of your club and the fact that our club actually have jobs, they actually do jobs outside of playing football, mean you should have won by even more. So basically, we're the real heroes.
What if we just took our foot off? What if we just took our foot off the gas? Because guess what? We don't want to embarrass you anymore. It's called being nice. We didn't even try to score 9. It just happened because you're that bad.
Showing some respect to a terrible football team. You've got to show some respect.
You got to understand how this thing works, man.
Listen, I know enough about women's football to know that your club are a disgrace. Daring to beat my team 9-0.
What, Tom? How dare you? How dare you say such absolute horrible, absolute lies?
Wow, there's something not right with this guy.
Preparing for your Champions League win 3 years later.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. That's it. So next thing will be selling the academies. I mean,
Yeah, that's probably
City's
another thing I'll
academy
start doing.
is probably worth a lot of money, and Barcelona's academy is probably worth even more, right? So
Let's be honest.
yeah,
Todd Bowley has turned around to someone in that boardroom and gone, would it be legal if we try to sell people?
Yeah. Can we sell all our kids? Can we sell all the kids, please, and get some money for them?
yeah.
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 But Dan is right. Dan is right about the with the women's team though. The women's game is growing. So it is probably better to wait if we was going to do that. It's probably better to wait until the value increases.
Yeah. Well, if we continue on with what we did this year, and actually compete and actually have a good chance to win the league, then there you go.
I actually think a lot of this shows, and that 9-0 game shows that Arsenal are quite pathetic because.
Okay, you know what? Can we get that bingo card up again, because we are trying our hardest. We are trying our hardest.
Is it the lead? Is it the Leeds one we want?
Yes, because I mean we are trying our hardest.
And a little bit
bloody Tom.
So, in all seriousness, and I'm fully serious on the road trip. I think you're punishing those Leeds United women because our men's team beat you 3-2 in May of 2003, and you've never got over it.
You know what? I'm not quite sure, but I maybe just might have activated Tom's last bingo card.
Uh-oh. Which one is this? Hey, you know what? Can we bring this one up when so I was looking at something up the other day, and we're talking about I was remembering. Do you remember, like, we were talking about the first games I saw as an Arsenal fan, and the first game I officially saw as watching Arsenal was when they came to the States and they played the Red Bulls, and Henry was starring for the Red Bulls. And you know what he did that year? Sam, do you know what he did? He went back to Arsenal, and he actually scored a goal. Do you remember that?
Yes,
do you remember that? I forget the team. I forget the team that he scored for, because he came out of his wheelchair. He had his walker. He walked out, had a walker, brought him out to the middle of the pitch in the walker.
Fucking pussy, that
and
man.
He stepped onto the pitch and he scored a goal. I don't remember the team. Anybody?
I believe it was a horrible club. I believe it's a horrible club in Yorkshire called Leeds.
Is it the club that not cost you the title twice in 4 years?
Nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear whatever you just said. It just went. Zoop. But I definitely heard Leeds getting scored on by a pensioner, a guy in a wheelchair.
Henry is so good that as a pensioner, he could sink Leeds United. That's how good he is.
It was pathetic how you basically just set up to keep giving him the ball, go on, Thierry, score, and then get.
And it was that easy to score on a proper Leeds team. Is that what you're gonna say next?
His goal was pathetic, and it should have been.
His goal, everything's pathetic.
Yeah. And, I didn't realize it, but that was 12 years later that I actually saw Arsenal play in a Premier League game. So. That's how long ago he retired. Over 12 years ago, the man retired from Premier League football, came back and scored. Wow.
I just think that Thierry Henry is obviously racist, because we turned up in, I believe we were wearing our dark kits that day. Our away kit, I believe we were wearing, and I think he was massively racist that day.
So now he's gone after not only me but Henri. The man's got a statue up front.
Home kit, he'd have been like, "No, I like that team."
Oh man, funny how they go deaf when someone talks poorly of Arsenal. Tom, I don't think he was talking. There was a lot of stuff. His mouth was moving, but it was just a lot of nonsense coming out, and I don't hear nonsense. Sorry.
That's you lying fucker. You ain't nothing but nonsense.
If Shesko
There's a lot of nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense that comes from that part of the screen, right?
No. Point the other way. Point the other way.
That is where the nonsense is coming from.
No, point the other way. Point the other way.
Sam secretly enjoys my bullshit.
Yeah. So, any chance Shesko comes to Arsenal?
I don't think so. It looks like it's Gyökeres now, doesn't it? That's what it looks like. It looks like they've decided on Gyökeres. And I was reading. I think it's because RB Leipzig they're not budging on their price. They're not going under 90 million, is what I'm reading. But it's all rumours. We don't know if it's true or not. But apparently, RB Leipzig don't want to go under 90 million, and we're probably going to get Gyökeres for less than that. I
do believe that Leeds United may be offered the same player for a price of £47.12.
Does that
nothing to do with the ownership, of course?
Does that include a pasty?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Probably.
Good. Important.
Do you know we've got a pre-season tour in Germany, and Leeds fans are very upset about it because the German authorities won't allow people to attend games. And I sat there thinking, well, of course we're not allowed to attend games because we're Leeds fans and they're not stupid. But people are like, how dare Daniel Farke sign off on this sort of thing? It's like, hey, you don't like Daniel Farke anyway. So the man could actually cure cancer tomorrow and you'd still say he didn't do it quick enough. And also, if I was him, I would also make a pre-season tour outside my house. If you can get away with it, why wouldn't you do it? Neil Warnock did it all the time. He would have the Huddersfield team come down to Cornwall because that's where he lived. Was there any Huddersfield fans in Cornwall? Of course there fucking wasn't. Not even in Neil Warnock's own house. But if it's good work if you can get it.
There you go.
Like our your owners, like we can play our matches in Denver.
They don't play. They haven't played any matches in Denver.
Tomorrow.
Now you're just making words up.
That's true.
I'm making stuff up. Well, I never.
And just to switch over gears a little bit in the what is it called? The Club World Cup.
Yes.
Semifinals is going on. Your favorite what?
I love that tournament. I love it.
Oh, you do?
I love me a Club World Cup.
Oh, why?
I'm very surprised they've not done it sooner.
Yeah, I mean, it's something they talked about. There's something they talked about doing it properly for a long time, haven't they? They had that other stupid version they did for a while, but yeah, I mean, as a concept, it is a good idea, but I mean, they need to do it better.
Well, they can't. I'm sorry, but they cannot do it. Like I always talk about logistics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't do it in America again.
No, not in the middle.
And if you are going to do it in America, you need to put it in the bigger cities so the logistics actually make sense.
And put them in indoor stadium. Put them in the indoor stadiums. We can actually put a fucking roof on top.
They got wrong, Sam. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It was rude of me.
Oh, it's fine.
But there was so much of it. I love it as a concept, but so much of the execution of it they got wrong.
Yeah.
They just did. The fact of the matter is, dynamic pricing for tickets. Like you could get a ticket for £500 the other day for Chelsea's match in the semi-final, but you'll end up getting a ticket for £13.50. And because in MetLife Stadium, I believe, it will actually be cheaper to get a ticket for the game than to actually get food for the game. Because I believe the cost of the food is about like £15 that I would work out in English money. And but as Dan says, a lot of the games have actually been quite good.
Yeah.
But I do feel like because the agenda of the media is to slag it off and basically go like, oh, we don't like this competition because we don't like Gianni Infantino, or whatever his name is. It's become a bit of a like, we're not actually going to admit that a lot of the football's actually been quite good.
Yeah.
Given the scenarios.
I mean, a lot of what was it at one point the Brazilian teams hadn't lost at all, or the South American teams hadn't lost to anybody. At some point, it was.
Have to do a bit better with the clubs that get invited. I mean, I understand you want some novelty clubs from around the world and stuff, like the best team from New Zealand or whatever, and the best team from fucking Vietnam or whatever. You know, I can understand you want some like variety from around the world, that, you know, because it's a world competition, right? But like bringing in Chelsea when they haven't won anything for years, I mean, it's got to be like more relevant in terms of the teams that get in are the teams that have won, you know, like the Champions League, the Premier League, you know, the top competitions.
So how did Chelsea get in
there?
So how did Chelsea get in?
It's because they won the Champions League like 3-4 years ago, whatever it was, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But okay, this is a new thing, right? This is going to happen.
In the 4-year cycle before the tournament, if you won the Champions League, you got in automatically. Okay. That's why Chelsea got invited. They were probably the first team to qualify for it. Actually, by the nature of it being in.
They need to do something with that because it's a bit silly that you know it can be 4 years ago since you won something.
Actually that's the part of it, Sam, that I'm actually least against. I actually think is actually if you're then gonna make up like for example, Red Bull Salzburger in it, like why? Why? Because of their UEFA their UEFA coefficient. Like fucking ridiculous. Absolute fucking ridiculous that they're in it.
The other qualifications don't make any sense. I think they need to be consistent, as you said. If it's going to be by coefficient, then it's by coefficient. If it's going to be by winning the Champions League and winning the top, you know, continental trophy that each continent has, then let that be it, right? If it's not, then you know, I think it just needs to be consistent. As you said, everybody doesn't have to come, right?
I'll tell you why the tournament exists. The real reason this tournament exists is because in a 4-year cycle, UEFA make money hand over fist 4 years because their Champions League basically rakes in all the money. Whereas FIFA, the only year FIFA make any money in a 4-year cycle is when the World Cup occurs. So in their mind, they're like, why haven't we got a slice of that pie?
Yep.
They're kind of right in that sense. Like, I get why, because they've got a responsibility to like the other countries that are under their banner, I suppose. And obviously they're funding a lot of the
but I think the teams that take part have to at least be fully professional. I mean, that one team from, was it New Zealand or whatever, that got absolutely pummeled by, was it 10-0 by Bayern Munich? You know, I mean, you can't have teams that are not even professional. I mean, that's just silly. You got to at least have professional teams.
Yeah.
The thing also, Sam, is that I think it exposed a bit of hypocrisy from a lot of the teams, a lot of the media that were slagging it off and like, but what, you upset because footballers are playing football at the end of June, but it would be okay when your club then plays in America a week later in a pre-season tour. That's okay because they're making the money out of it.
Yeah, I know it's all a money thing,
but it is not the same thing, right?
It's totally the same thing.
Playing in a pre-season tournament versus playing for what looks to be a substantial amount of money and a trophy and a little bit of credibility in the football world is a little different than just going out there to for glorified practice. That's what the preseason is. Those are glorified practices, a little scrimmage out there. Not the same thing mentally for me. You know what I mean? And, they have they can sub as many players as they want, right? It's not the same. So I don't look at it the same way. So I feel like when you're playing in this Club World Cup, it's a competitive thing. Players are out there. I mean, you've got Musiala breaking an ankle yesterday, right? That's not going to happen in a preseason game, right? If he's teetering on any kind of threat, they're going to pull him right away, right? They're not gonna if they feel like they're gonna things getting a little dangerous, they're gonna pull him. right? In a preseason match, not in this match where they're trying to win something at the end of the day. So I don't think they're the same. I think, like I said, that's just practice. If it's part of the preseason and it's practice, then I don't see it. Right, the fact that they were playing right after the season, that didn't make any sense to me. But as part of the preseason prep, I get it. Why you want to push your players out there to the world.
I feel it's quite clever to actually do it the year before the World Cup, because you can actually like get your host city ready, shit like that, like a test, like they used to do it before when they had the Confederation Cup a year before the World Cup. Like no one really bats an eyelid about that. That's not true, actually. People did just go, "Why are we doing this?" sort of thing. It's like, but I felt FIFA showed their hand a bit when they arranged for Lionel Messi's team to be in the tournament based on being Lionel Messi.
That was ridiculous. Yeah, how they thought they was going to win, but they got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah. Oh god, that was so stupid.
They had Lionel Messi's team got in it by virtue of essentially FIFA said because they won the I forget what they call it, the Supporters Shield. Like they basically won the MLS league phase, but they didn't then win the MLS because they got knocked out in the first round of the playoff.
Yeah.
So, what really should have happened is they should have gave the spot to whoever won the tournament at the end of the MLS season, in my opinion. But they didn't because they wanted.
But was Salzburg in this?
Yes.
How did they eliminate Dan Laguna's? Is it because they're part of Austria? Is it because Austria had to have a team in there? Is that why?
It's regional, right? All of that stuff regional, right? That's why. That's how I saw
Austria.
it.
They were doing it based on coefficient performance in Europe, and I believe there was a year where Salzburg did quite well in the Champions League, and by well I mean well for them.
Because they're probably representing Austria. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a like I said, the way you qualify for it makes no sense to me. It should be consistent.
But they need to make the qualification like more in line with the actual top winners of the top tournaments actually getting in, and they need to get rid of the tiny little unprofessional teams. Just bring in more of the more professional teams. But the Club World Cup as a concept, I agree with Tom. It is an actual interesting concept because it would be good to see who the best club in the world is. You play the best, teams in Brazil, the best teams in Asia, because now we've actually got some good teams in Asia now with the Saudi Arabian clubs. I mean, they're quite decent, aren't they? So, best teams in North America. So you get to find out like who the best team in the world is, like for real. I quite like that concept as a
played Real Madrid off the park. They did.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen in a million years of Sundays, but it did, and you only found out because the match happened.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of the Brazilian clubs play really well as well. I mean, a couple of those Brazilian clubs have been just absolutely astounding the way they play, how they pass the ball. Yeah.
They know it's their opportunity to showcase themselves to the planet, which is what it should be.
Yeah.
But no, it's not Dan's right. That it's incorrect assumption to think that every country had a team within the tournament. It's not true.
No, I didn't think that, but I thought maybe I just couldn't see how. I was thinking the same as Dan because I just couldn't really see how Salzburg could be high enough on the coefficient thing to get in. But I don't know. God knows what I haven't seen it. So
I'm gonna have a look because I did look before, but I've got I'll try and find out how and why they are in this, but it's because of their UEFA coefficient.
I'll do a Google.
Yeah, I guess we're all going to do it here. Should I say what AI? See, teams that win their confederation's top competition, Champions League, get in between that period. Then it goes to continent. If a club wins multiple continental titles during the qualifying period, they get in. Then if you win then it's confederate slots. So UEFA gets 12. CONMEBOL gets 6. The African League and CONCACAF each get 4. Oceania gets 1.
Can I read what it says here? I've got it here. So it says they have qualified by virtue of being the highest ranked club across the past 4 Champions League seasons from a country that does not already have 2 spots occupied. So, because you've got the major countries have 2 spots each.
Yeah.
So Salzburg got in by being the highest ranked in the Champions League for the past 4 seasons from a country that is not one of those countries that already has 2 spots.
Yep, that makes sense.
That's
I
how they
don't
got
agree that they should be in it, but it makes sense as how they have come to the conclusion that they should be in it. Because it is true, like, if you ended up with having, like, 10 teams from England, it'd be ridiculous.
Oh, the idea is 2, isn't it? That's it. You get 2 from each. But, like, I was thinking one of those 2 shouldn't have been Chelsea. I mean, that's fucking stupid, isn't it?
The irony is they're going to win it, probably.
Yeah, how fucking stupid would that be? Jesus.
You realise that Thiago Silva plays for the team that Chelsea are playing against in the semi-final.
Fluminense, huh?
I believe he played in the Champions League final for Chelsea.
That's gonna be that's 2 good semi-finals, you know, Fluminense, Chelsea, and PSG, Real Madrid. That's 2 good semi-finals, yeah.
Yeah, and John Pedro will. It looks like he's going to start for them potentially. So they just brought him in.
I do feel a lot of the media around it has been very like, if you want to make yourself look good as a writer, then just slag off the Club World Cup. Especially on the Athletic, it feels like they've been told to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, just let it play out. It's like, even on the first night, they were slagging it off. It's like, let it fucking happen.
Yeah.
But still, it was very silly of FIFA, to organise that opening match to happen. And I suppose they can't really help this, but they had it in Florida, where he generally plays on a weekly basis. Wouldn't it have been a lot more intelligent to move Lionel Messi's team into stadiums that he doesn't usually play in? So people can be like, oh, I get the chance to see Lionel Messi. Rather than let's just have him in the same place that he usually plays football.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They did it on the night when I believe Florida were in the Stanley Cup final. So even then, again, a lot of the local people would be like, I'm watching hockey.
Yeah. Got Jordan joining us. Jordan, welcome to the show. He says hello.
We have Jordan.
Yes, yeah. He's shocked Salzburg didn't win.
I think this is all a big stitch up, really, because I think what they really thought was that Jesse Marsch would still be their manager by the time the tournament rolled around, and they thought it'd be their chance to get Jesse Marsch in the Club World Cup.
Why would that be a thing?
Because I've just got this thing that everyone loves Jesse Marsch except for me.
What a theory that is!
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this, Mr. Tom. It's never about you.
What a random theory that is.
It's not about you.
Everyone wants to see Jesse Marsch in the Club World Cup. I mean, like, that's a thing.
No, it's nothing to do with whatever you're thinking.
But it obviously worked away from that, because then he ended up being the Canada man. I'll still get messages from Moss basically going, anything to do with Canada doing well, get sent messages from Moss. It's like, I can't sit there and go, I don't care about Jesse Marsch, because what upsets me most about Jesse Marsch is I tend to defend the current Leeds United manager, because I don't really think your club benefits from sacking managers every 5 minutes. But at the same time, when we did sack him, I was like, why didn't you fucking do it sooner? Because you made me look like a moron for months. But
yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Farker gets on in the Premier League now, because obviously last time it didn't go very well, did it? But it'd be interesting to see now if if he can do a better job this time round.
Well, he's basically spent years saying basically I wasn't backed at Norwich, which was true, because you can't spend £7 million upon promotion and think like you're going to stay in the Premier League with Norwich.
Yeah,
but I'm not saying we're gonna back him like Arsenal spending money, but we're gonna have a crack here, I suppose. I mean, saying that, we've bought a defender for 22 million and bought one for 5 million. And, I don't necessarily agree with these bargain basement type of transfers, but I do if they work. But,
well, we don't really know much about them, do they? As I was saying, they could turn out to be quite good players, like, through this whole, this data driven, scouting and everything. I mean, they could. I mean, like we said last night, you've seen Wolves done it. We've seen Brighton do it. We've seen, several clubs do it, where they'll buy these players no one's heard of, but they turn out to be pretty good. So it'd be interesting to see.
It's also, for me, it's a system player, right? I mean, the system works a certain way. If you get the right pieces, it will look really good as a part of a whole, right? So that's what you're hoping for when you're coming up, I believe, when you get promoted. You need the players that are going to be able to perform in the system. They don't have to stand out, right? So, I mean, who's going to stand out? Who's going to stand out for Leeds this year?
Well, I was going to ask Tom, which players are you linked to? Like, what's in the transfer rumor mill for you guys at the moment? Like, which players you actually linked to?
I've not really seen anything attacking wise, but Daniel James at 4 foot nothing or whatever he is, and Nuli Nonto also at like 3 foot nothing, are going to look quite tiny next to our new 6'3" defenders, and I'll be like, yeah, make sure they're stood next to them in the lineup just to show them what's going to happen if they don't play well.
So you're not linked to any who? So you don't know who you're linked to at the moment.
I mean, we see a lot of shit about like, oh, Leeds are in and Wilson. I'm like, I wish we wasn't. I've not really seen any other than like general nonsense. Like the general thing is like a lot of Sunderland's purchases were people we were interested in, but then Sunderland just went, fuck it, we'll pay you 10 million on extra from what Leeds did. I'm like, that's great. Let's waste Sunderland's money that way. Can we survive this season? Yes, we literally can survive it based on the fact that we all start on the same number of points. Will we survive it? I don't know.
Interesting to see.
It will depend on a lot of this, like you're saying, the data-driven stuff, buying physically imposing players to complement the skillful players, and what's the best way of putting it? Not letting teams bully us, essentially, is how we're going to win points.
You got to have a good physical presence in the Premier League. You got to.
Being a good footballer in the Premier League is secondary these days, from what I've noticed. Of course, you need to be a good footballer, but it's very much secondary to who are the best athletes in the Premier League.
Yeah. You need good physical abilities. You need to be a physical presence, especially on set pieces and stuff. There's so much done on set pieces now. So, be interesting to see.
I will be very upset if within the first 2 weeks of the season we can see the goal from a set piece. Be very upset.
Yeah, you guys got some big players in the middle there now. So, be interesting to see.
I want us to bully the fuck out of Arsenal at the Emirates.
Okay, now you just see this is where the nonsense is starting, folks.
Now you're just nasty. Just nasty
You
now.
don't need the points. Just give us the points. You don't need them. You can win the league without the 6 points off us.
We've got a fucking tough start to the season though. Our start to the season is fucking tough. Oh god, it's going to be horrible.
Well, I know it's going to be really tough for you because you've got Leeds rolling into town.
Well, wasn't really counting that one, but
I don't know.
In all seriousness, if we did actually manage to pull out a win on there,
see, now you're just making no sense. Once again, I keep saying stop with the nonsense.
The road trip would be fun.
Unexpected. Sorry, what's that, Sam?
I was just going to say the road trip would be fun after that game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably have to take the week off the road trip if it goes the way it should do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's that right now the match is that. Oh, that's right. The match will be as the show is going on, so that would be interesting. Unless they change the time, but right now it's a 3 p.m. It's a 3 p.m. start. So yeah, that would be fun.
I think it says a lot about the Premier League that they basically decided, Leeds are the biggest club, so we'll make their money.
What? Did I count? You can't even say that. You can't even say that with a straight face. Come on.
Football. They went, well, Everton's got to play someone. Might as well be at Leeds.
Oh.
I will say, in all seriousness, when I saw that fixture list, I mean, I'm getting all the nonsense out now simply because I know it's going to come back on me tenfold when Leeds end up losing 4-1 at the Emirates or something like that. And that's when you get your turn to fucking roast me. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say, actually. I've got so much going on. I mean,
so much nonsense.
It's cooking up there. So much nonsense is cooking, isn't it? Just cooking up there.
I've literally had 8 weeks to think about this shit. I was literally, I didn't get to tell you all properly. I was laying in that hospital bed, and this is genuinely true. And I'm basically checking that, basically with my one limb that does work, I'm checking the phone, basically the score of Leeds at Plymouth. Checking the score, like it kept saying 1-1, 1-1 sort of thing. And I had my mum sat there, and obviously I'm not talking to her about football because fucking hell, that's a fucking difficult conversation. Because then questions lead to more questions. I won't just shut your mouth. Anyway, phone goes, and she answers the phone, and she turned to me and went, Leeds have scored. You've won the league. Dad wants to know. This is genuinely true. This sequence of events happened in this order. It literally went, Leeds have scored, you've won the league, and your dad wants to know how you are. I'm like, what's that the priority in that order?
Brilliant.
But you're most important. You're most happy about the win, and then yes, I'm doing well, right?
Well, I couldn't physically move, so all I could do was just lay there, and go, yay!
Yay! That's it.
Because at that point, my arm, I've barely been able to move it. Like at best, I would have been able to lift a finger, and I don't think I could at that point. But I was just like,
celebrate the way you can. Yeah, it's good. I bet that was amazing. That feeling, winning the league last second like that. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, in reality, yes, Dan, that is the correct order because that's what I was fucking caring about at the time. But in my mind, I was like, why for him is that the correct order?
Because it's for you. You don't get. People love you. That's how it goes. Your happiness comes first. Oh yes.
I was quite excitable though.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I mean, that's. What a way to win the league, last second like that, last minute. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Very similar game to the one that we played, I believe, last Saturday. But I think we should all put our hands up. But then keep our hands up if your club got 100 points in the season. What's that? What's that? My hands are staying up in the air. What's that? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that I managed to achieve?
Don't know what happened. Actually, I don't know what happened, Sam. He was here a second ago.
He's getting too cocky. He's getting far too cocky.
And then he just left. I don't even understand. He was standing
far
here
too
talking,
cocky.
and then he just left. You see it? He's rude.
We can't take this insolence. We can't take this insolence from scrubby Leeds fans.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, Dan. I did not want to. I didn't want to see any of that. I don't want any of that stuff from this guy.
Dan, I'm sorry. I'm apologising in advance because you happen to be an Arsenal fan. When Leeds win at the Emirates, I'm not going to mock you personally because you're a nice guy, and Sam's a nice guy, and Gary's all right.
But you guys also play. You guys also play 8 more games, so that does help.
That really does help to get the 100-point mark. Again, how can we work it out and say you got 100 points? So not the league, it's a league. I mean, yeah, but
technically it's true. Yeah, technically true. Yeah, definitely not the league.
how many times have your club won the championship, Sam?
Well, we've got to be in it. You've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah. We just haven't been that poor in our footballing.
Just haven't been that crap. Haven't been crap enough for it.
In all seriousness, I'm just very excited, very happy.
It's like that whole at the end of last season there with Spurs winning that fucking Europa League. You know, and all the Arsenal fans go, "Oh my God, Spurs got a trophy! Oh my God, we're crap, we're rubbish. Arteta out. Oh no, trophy's like." You guys do realise that fucking Europa League is a trophy for losers. It's a trophy for the people who can't get into the Champions League, right? You know, we got to the semi-final of the Champions League. I do believe that's better than winning the fucking Europa League. You know, it's like, why do you want a trophy that you've got to be crap to be in? You know, I can't. The logic just, yeah.
I will say though, and I feel you understand this. I don't say I was pleased that Spurs won the Europa League. It was more like they were lesser evil of the two teams that could have won it.
Not for us. Not for us.
Of course.
For you, it was. For us, it wasn't.
Yeah. I very vividly remember basically just. I didn't watch it because why would I watch Man United and Spurs stink up the joint in the European final? I'd rather eat cat shit.
Yeah.
Yes, there's another interesting cuisine. Yes.
I mean, you've tasted it. I know. I can tell. You didn't hesitate. You didn't hesitate. You just said, "Man, it's got to survive, right?" Sometimes you got to do stuff you don't want to do.
Sometimes you need the nutrients.
Yeah. Elite sports is about trinkets. There you go.
Yep, especially ones that you need 100 points to achieve.
There you go. See,
Dad's number one in chat now. Look at him. Look, what a slag! What a slag he is, slagging his way up the table.
Rosie must be off making dinner.
No, she was number one. She was number one cooking 3 minutes ago. So she just slacked off a little bit, and Dan ran in there and took one, scored one when she wasn't looking. Oh, man.
Nothing in life excites me more than seeing Burnley winning a football match, scoring a goal in injury time, and it not mattering because they suck.
Yes.
There was a video, I know you wouldn't have seen it, but it was obviously a Millwall, because Burnley were playing Millwall. So there was a Millwall fan, he was filming in the ground, and he sat there like, Burnley have just gone 3-1 up, and it doesn't matter because Leeds just scored. And then he turned, all the Millwall fans all started cheering because Leeds scored, and they don't like us, and we don't like them. But it was all quite obvious that it was actually the more funny sequence of events, obviously, because then all the Burnley fans, there were some of them literally like, you know, like they situate the fans, and there were still some Burnley fans to the left of them, and they're sitting there crying. And all the Millwall fans just turning, fucking laughing at them, and I'm like, yeah, you fucking laugh at them, you fucking laugh at them.
Yeah.
Fucking losers.
Absolute
fuck. You fucking cry
So
because you
Mr.
got
Tom,
100 points and you got nothing.
This is for you.
This Tom to watch Superman this week. The guy got the new guy, and that is playing Superman after this new film comes out.
What? He's young glue. He's young glue again.
Herbert, can you please retype that?
Mr. Herbert. Right, here we go. Take the comment away, Gary. Take the comment away. Take the comment away. This is it. Fucking Weir's. Weir's is something in the style of country bumpkin Yoda because he failed English at school and grew up in a fucking field. I mean, he's got to learn how to write English.
I looked at it and I said, I don't know where to go with this, but you guys can't even translate it either. So
the new guy that is playing Superman after this new film comes out. He's playing it after this film comes out. How does that make sense?
I don't understand what any of that has got to do with Superman.
I think he has to write it again in English.
Mr. Herbert, please.
I listened to him yesterday on the show, and I'm reading this, and I'm like, that ain't the same guy. At least I can understand the words coming out of his mouth. But I don't know about when he starts typing it out. It just doesn't sound the same. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, nobody.
No, I agree. It's like when he talks, you can understand him, even though he's got that West Country company. Oh, he likes to dig in the dirt. He likes a bit of the fire stick on his bum. He's got that tractor, fucking scrumpy. You know, he talks like that. You can understand what he says, but when he writes, it's like Yoda on crack.
I don't even know what to say to any of that because just
you don't have to. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah. All right.
So what do we think? So what do we think of Gyökeres then? What do we think of Gyökeres? Gyökeres is very close to signing now, apparently.
I like it. I mean, as I said, I could go either one of them, but I'll take. What is it? What are you laughing about now?
Because of course you like it. It's your policy of basically I like when we buy anybody.
No, that's not true. That's definitely not
true.
I didn't like when we bought Sterling. Huh? I don't understand the Marino transfer. Right? Didn't understand. Didn't like it when we brought William in.
Because of I don't like when we buy a Chelsea player kind of thing.
That's part of it. We seem to just like Kepa made sense. William. Sterling didn't make sense to me, right? So, but yeah, no, I Gyökeres, I like him. I mean, I hopefully this means Arteta will change his ways somewhat because he has a different style player. You know, as long as he doesn't try to, fit him into the square box when he just shouldn't. He should work around him because I think he's that good of a player. Right, he's 27 years old. You're not going to ask him to do things that you want out of a young 23, 24-year-old. So just get him to play at his best. Right, get the best out of your players, and we'll be fine. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays. I'm hoping that we get a similar kind of influence in the way we play, like when Jesus came into the squad. I mean, that first couple of months that he played, I think we enjoyed the football. So hopefully we get the similar thing, but for the entire season. So yeah.
I just see now that some of the Sporting Lisbon fan accounts on Twitter are basically saying, thanks for everything, Gyökeres. Enjoy Arsenal. So, it's getting pretty. I think it's getting pretty serious now. Interesting stuff. I like Gyökeres. I think he's got a good finish on him. He's strong. He's that type of top level striker we're looking for. And he played for Coventry as well. Remember when they were pushing for promotion, he did quite well for Coventry as well. So he has played in England. It's not quite the Premier League, but he did quite well for Coventry. So You know, I know it'd be interesting to see because we've wanted that top level striker, haven't we? Ever since Aubameyang left, we've wanted that top level. We didn't feel Havertz was really a proper striker. You know, Gabriel Jesus is not really a proper striker. You know, it's we've wanted that top level striker, and this is it. Gyökeres is probably, I mean, arguably the top striker available in the market in terms of goals scored, you know, reputation. You know, he's probably the top striker available in the market, and for us to get that I think is very good.
Yes, sir. Goal scoring machine. Yep. That's what we want. So there you go. That's what we want. And on the other side of the coin, unless Mr. Tom, you have anything to say about Gyökeres?
No, I actually like Dan's comment, which you have started. To be fair, it is gone to the Mr. Herbert school of.
So yeah, Dan, who also sounds proper when he speaks on the tube.
Ari as Gary, about Nonny as everyone else.
I know really it's saying "are you." I know that's what he really means, but
he's missing one letter. I felt like Anthony's missing many letters,
and he's missing the whole entire paragraph. In fact, just go back to it. I'm so offended by that particular message that I was almost half tempted to actually contact Cineworld and actually cancel my ticket to watch this game. Basically said, nah, I don't know what he meant by any of this, so I was like, nah, I don't want to watch your movie.
Well, you know, it's good to hear that, you know, the stock futures on one all you can eat buffet and a movie and a cinema, the futures are on the way up for some reason. I don't know why.
I felt genuinely guilty, Gary, upon discovering that during my absence, 2 local businesses closed down because I wasn't using them.
Yes. Mr. Tom is an economy himself, all by himself,
Chinese
right?
Takeaway and Kitchen 37 both no longer exist.
It's the worst 9 weeks of food eating places in the local area there. So here we go, Sam. Noni Madueke, I believe that's how you say his name. Coming to Arsenal. There's a lot of noise because I don't know why there's a lot of noise. I think that for me, the only reason why there's a lot of noise is because it costs too much for a backup.
And also because he's from Chelsea. Like I said last night, Arsenal fans have got this whole thing with Chelsea now. We get triggered. Everything related to Chelsea just triggers Arsenal fans now, you know, because we've had a few players from them that haven't been great. Yeah. So all of a sudden now anything related to Chelsea is just, oh, that's it. It's the worst ever.
Yeah.
Madueke is, however you want to pronounce his name, I'm just going to call him Madueke. I mean, he is not going to be starting football games. He is for our squad, and we want decent level squad players. And he can play across the entire front line. He can play right. He can play through the middle. He can play out in the left. So to bring in someone who can play across the entire front line, who is 23 years old, has a lot of speed, has some skill. I mean, he's still developing, arguably. I think he's still got some room for development. I think he's a good addition for the squad because we can't go out and get, you know, we're looking at those players who aren't going to be playing that many games. You know, we can't go and get 80, 90, 100 million pound players at that level. You know, you just can't. You have to find the right level for the squad. And I think he gives us good options because he can play. He's so flexible. He can play basically anywhere along the front line. So I think it makes a lot of sense. But because he's from Chelsea, because he hasn't scored 50 goals, it's like, oh my God, he's so bad. And it's our that part of our fan base are just complete morons. They just don't think unless it's fucking like, I don't know, like fucking peak Cristiano Ronaldo from Real Madrid. It's like, oh, nothing's ever good enough. You know, that's basically what our fan base has become now.
I hear you. Yeah. No, I just okay for me. I understand the Chelsea side. I just think the 50 mil for a player seems a bit steep when we're for a backup. Yes, he can cover lots of space, but I don't until we get like an Eze and Rodrigo in along with Gyökeres. I think Noni is for me.
Well, that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're still going to be getting either a Rodrigo or an Eze as well. I don't think Madueke is going to be the only like signing that's going to be for the front line apart from Gyökeres.
Yeah.
So I think we're still going to see either Eze or Rodrigo.
Madueke, there you go, Madueke. Yes.
Madueke,
and Sam, I know how you can dirty this up as much as you want, but here we go.
I'm writing from the pool and the screen is wet. Well. A little bit of wet business there, eh? A little bit in his. I could just see Dan in his speedo. He's got some suntan lotion on, unless he's indoor. If it's an indoor pool, then he probably doesn't have suntan lotion on. But he's got his speedos on. He's got a cocktail, like one of those little cocktails with a little umbrella in it, and he's drinking and he's sipping it, and he's got his fingers all wet from the pool. Disgraceful behaviour. It's disgraceful. That's what it is.
Okay, so check that out later today. You guys want to see a wet screen, and that's your thing. Check it out.
Wet. That was a band, wasn't it? They had a one hit wonder, wasn't it? When wet.
All right, we've done 90 minutes. I don't want to hang. We could sit here and talk forever, but I think I'm gonna let everybody get back to their daily routine. Mr. Tom, what is your daily routine going to be for the rest of the day?
I'll be eating.
There you go. What are we eating today? What is on the menu now?
It's going to be roast beef with potatoes.
Oh, nice. So do you like your roast beef like you like your steak?
Yes. It needs to be incredibly well cooked. By well cooked, I mean cremated.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of that sounds really good. And Sam, I know you don't like your food cooked because you live in Norway, and you guys just hanging out to dry, right?
Oh, all that dry stuff and all the fucking fermenting stuff and all that. Yeah, no, that's not for me. All of that, no. That's it. But if I'm having beef or a steak or anything, I do like to be able to taste the meat and not to actually just taste the charcoal of the burnt on top of it. That is normally the way I like to have it.
You're missing off the flavour. You're missing out.
That charcoal flavour. Just eat charcoal. It'd be a lot cheaper.
Oh, this is getting really guys.
You think I haven't eaten a stick of charcoal?
I have no doubt that
he's like, oh, this tastes like steak.
He's got
charcoal. He went, oh, this tastes like steak.
And the person's looking at him like, no, sir, that whatever. Check out.
Do you remember the time I went, no, sir, that's Gary's dinner? No, wait, never. I watched it.
You watched the guy steak my meat. Oh man. So I don't know this Sam. I mean, he's gone a little bit weird here because if you take the S off of his Speedos, you got.
I wouldn't. I mean, if you take the S off Speedos, it becomes something very different, doesn't it?
Yes. Make him Uberman.
There's something strange going on. Dan, you gotta have to.
Uberman.
Yeah. Oh man, we've got Adieri says the Gooners. How are you? Newcastle United should sign James Stafford for 40 mil to Newcastle. There's a lot of words in here. I don't even know.
I think he's talking about Newcastle signing a few different players. James Trafford is a good goalkeeper. I mean, he's a good goalkeeper. So if they manage to get him, that's good going. But what are they going to do with what's his name, Pope? Haven't they got Pope already?
Yeah.
So I mean, does that mean Pope's going to go then, or?
I know somewhere Pope should go.
Where should he go, Tom? Tell us where he should go.
Unleash the bingo card.
I haven't got that one on this show. It's on my other show. It's on the other show.
Oh, you know what, Mr. Tom? It kind of, you
Hang
have
on.
to build.
It might be on
You
this
have,
one.
you have to build up to it.
You
You should. It's got to build up to it.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't got this bingo card. It's on the other. It's on my other show.
I wasn't going to do my outro. Don't worry.
So leather and potatoes. Then, yeah, that's Mr. Tom.
That's true.
Leather, yeah.
With a gravy.
Yeah. And Alanga, I think also they were looking at Alanga to go to Newcastle. Yes. We've got Guna Matters over here. Welcome to the show. We are gonna head out of here though. Yeah. He can't leave the pool. He's stuck.
Thank you, Guna Matters.
He says my trunks are called Speedo. Yeah, that's not what we meant. You said the S is gone, and that's kind of takes it down a different. Yeah, a different.
Not PG, not
yes,
PG.
yeah. Something about something. Yeah, Dan. I'm your lawyer here. Take that joke out of your book. All right. The S off your Speedos. Take that joke out. We're not using that one anymore. Okay.
I wasn't aware that Dan made poor decisions, not hiring you as his lawyer.
That one I think was a good suggestion. Yeah.
I mean, you have made a poor decision of hiring me as your lawyer in your case against Rosie.
Yeah, I've got Sam to back me up. So like both of you together, I kind of got at least half a lawyer.
We're a crack legal team. We are crack legal team.
More like crap.
Oh man! All right, we're gonna get out of here, Mr. Tom. Tell the people where to go.
Hey everyone, thank you for your support. Genuinely, there are people that have been very good with their support. But obviously, me being me, you can all still go fuck yourselves.
Very nice. Very nice. And Sam, tell the people what's up.
Yeah, it's been good fun as always. Good to see everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Sunday. Up the Arsenal. Let's get Gyökeres over the line now. Get that proper big striker in we've been waiting for. It'll be great. Hope everyone has a good week.
Yep. Everybody, thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again next week, and hopefully we'll have even more good news from the Arsenal side. Yeah, we'll have a full front line. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be good.
And that's not even including Saka. All right, think about it. We don't have to bring Saka into this, and we still have a front line.
Send me this, by the way.
Oh, that is scary. If you saw, it's a man, it's a plane, it's a blimp. No, it is
Superman.
It's Super Sam. As I believe he.
Super Sam.
Super Sam.
You know what? Nobody said there was going to be a what is it called when the sun disappears behind the moon? What do they call that? An eclipse.
An eclipse, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. There we go. Sorry about that, but I can help myself. But everybody, we will see you on the next one. Thank you again for joining us. If you haven't already, subscribe and like. And we are out of here.
Leads.
Life is a journey. Don't wait your trip.